Welcome to Confessions by Banana Ketchup. Scary apartment. True story, I wish wasn't. Okay, so about 3 years ago, my mom and I were living in a one-bedroom apartment. We didn't really have any money, and it was the only place we could afford. It was a super old Victorian home in Tacoma, Washington, that had been sectioned off into 4 different little apartments. Since I was a kid, I've always been super sensitive to energy, whether it's people or a place. If there is some type of negativity, I can sense it. When we first moved in there, I felt weird. I wouldn't say that I felt anything evil there, but the place felt off. A couple months in, I went to spend the night at my boyfriend's place, which wasn't something I did often. About 9:30, I got a call from my mom. Mind you, at the time she was 63. I picked up and could immediately tell she was upset. She asked me if I was at my boyfriend's and if I was okay. I told her yes, I'm perfectly fine, and she then explained to me that she's gone to lay down to go to sleep when she heard my voice yell her name. At first I doubted if she just had a bad dream, but she was sure that she hadn't even been lying down more than a minute, still wide awake, and then it was like I was right in the doorway yelling mama. We both tried to forget about it, but my mom was convinced something was there in our apartment that was trying to scare her. A week later, she'd gotten some Palo Santos to try cleansing the apartment. She again did this while I was out, but she called me scared, begging me to come home. When I got back, she explained she'd done the usual, starting from the front door, going throughout the living room to the bed and bath, then the kitchen, working her way front to back. She said as she came to walk back into the living room where we had this little table and chairs, her chair was pulled out from the table, tilted back, balancing on its back legs. I tried reassuring her we would start looking for a new place, but it wasn't going to happen fast because of our money problems. About a month after that, I was on the couch while she was cutting vegetables for dinner, and I heard her scream. I ran into the kitchen, and she said she had placed the knife down on the cutting board, turned around to the sink to grab another vegetable, and when she turned back, the knife was gone. She said she turned back to the sink and was checking the counters, but it wasn't there. So she opened up the drawer to get another knife, and when she turned back to the cutting board, it was there again. We left the next day to stay with a friend for a while, but this was the most scared I'd ever seen my mom, and I know it wasn't because she was losing it or just getting old. She's still very lucid. I still believe if we'd stayed there, something bad would have happened to her. Thank you, Permafriedrice, the author. My husband and I think our apartment is haunted. So I recently moved to a different state in the south with my husband because he's in the army. We live in a small apartment complex off of a major road. A lot of crime happens in our neighborhood. People have been shot and cars get stolen all the time. We've lived here for about 6 months. I'll explain the setup a bit. We are the first building to right off the entrance into the complex. We live on the 3rd floor. When you enter the apartment, there is a bathroom right in front of you, a bedroom to the left, and then the kitchen and living room to your right. You have to pass through the living room to get to the master bedroom. Our bathroom is en suite, and then our closet is inside the bathroom. I feel like our closet and the 2nd bedroom are the places of main activity. In our closet, there is an entrance to the attic that's been sealed off. It's super creepy, and that is also the hottest room in the apartment. We don't really go in there. We keep the closet and bathroom door shut at all times because we get weird vibes when they're left open. We think there are several entities, some more chill, others more malicious. Everything in the 2nd bathroom varies, some days more creepy than others. Our living room is like the go-between. Once you pass a certain point, you can feel the differences. This is what we've experienced. We will hear things rattle around in the kitchen, day or night. The 2nd bathroom door must remain open. We kept it shut at one point, and the atmosphere in the apartment changed, like something was mad. My husband and I have both seen shadow figures, and every time we've seen them pass through the living room wall, the same wall that leads into our bathroom, where our closet is. My husband has to exercise outside on the patio now because he would always feel like he was being watched or something was standing over him in the living room. Noises will get louder when either of us are in our master bedroom. I recently experienced a vision or something, not sure what to call it, but I was on the threshold of the kitchen and the 2nd bathroom was in eyesight before me, and an image of a child stuck in mud was whispering, "Help me." That was only on the entrance to the kitchen where the 2nd bathroom was visible, not while I was actually in the kitchen. Recently, I feel like I'm being watched from that room. I will also smell things. Sometimes foul smelling, or when I'm in the living room, something floral and pleasant. My husband has been away and I feel like the weird occurrences are not as frequent, so I'm not sure what that means. I'd also like to mention that when I told my mother and my husband's mother that the backyard is red clay soil, they both said, "Oh, that's not good." My husband's mom went on to say that our building is probably built on top of something and that could be a reason there's activity. And that because we are in our mid-20s, we are more perceptible to these experiences. She's experienced a lot of paranormal things. Another thing I want to add, our bedroom feels pretty safe. We don't really experience anything in there. And we'll always find ladybugs in our room, which I know is a sign of protection, even though I'm deadly afraid of ladybugs. My husband tries to talk to these figures or at the apartment in general, like reciting the Lord's Prayer or telling them to go away, while I don't interact at all. Maybe that's why he says he's experienced more. What do you guys think? Thank you, Buggy Bug, the author. New to the paranormal area and seeking help. Hi all, I'm new in the area of the paranormal, and by new I mean I have never experienced anything up until about a year back, and so I have never looked into the area before. I hope you can help me because I'm actually a bit freaked out with the recent events. I bought a house with my wife in 2018. It's a 70s house that have had two families living there before us. The last owners lived there from 1993 and were sad they had to move and had been extremely happy about the place. I also spoke with my neighbor who has been living in his house ever since it was built in 1975, and he told me the first owners moved to an apartment due to age. So no one died in this house, and my guess is that whatever is going on now is a recent thing. Nothing was strange or out of the ordinary to us for a long time either, but now odd stuff is happening and I'm freaked out at points. For some reason, the most activity is in the bathroom linked to our bedroom. I have felt cold air on my arms and legs where my hair would literally stand up on the spot. It never happens to my wife, but I have showed it to her several times and you can put your hand in and feel the cold air. If I move, the cold often moves with me until it disappears. Funny thing is though, if I go do number 1 or 2 on the toilet, the cold vanishes. So I do have some privacy, it seems. The cold thing only happens in the bathroom, and that has been the only area of odd stuff up until recently. Like on Friday evening last week, when we were watching a movie and the kids were asleep, we heard a scratching noise from the side of the couch and we could feel it. Both of us heard and felt it, but again, it could have been something completely unrelated. But what made me look up this forum was the 4 handprints in the dew on the window in the living room this morning. We have floor-to-ceiling windows there, and the prints were in my head height, and I'm 6 feet 5, so there's no way one of our small kids, the oldest is 4, could have put them there, even though the handprints were small. They weren't full handprints, but just the fingers. The prints were on the inside, and they weren't there yesterday morning, so that was seriously creepy. It's not like there's a bad feeling in the house at all, and the kids never seem to experience anything, but I'd rather these things weren't happening. So I'm seeking information and help from people with more knowledge of this area, and what could be the reason and why this has suddenly spawned out of the blue. Thank you, I'm a model, the author. Thank you for watching everyone. If you already haven't, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any new episodes. See you again soon, and until then please, be safe.